Thank you for viewing our video discussing how to add biometric credentials into CA4K. For this process, we'll use two separate pieces of software. We will first need to enter the biometric data into the Biomanager client, and then we will need to add that information and add that badge into CA4K. To get started with this process, first, you'll need to launch the Biomanager client, either from a shortcut on your desktop or by navigating to it through your Start button to the Keri folder, that's K-E-R-I, and clicking on Biomanager client. Once the program is loaded, this is the screen that you will see. It is broken down into three main windows. This largest window here is the Events window. This is where we'll see the individual events that happen in this software. On the upper left-hand side, we'll see portals with the specific IP address to your local network and the specific biometric readers that are installed on your network. If there is a reader that you expect to see that does not show up here, you will need to contact your system administrator or BIOTC LLC for assistance with this issue. In this lower left-hand window, we see 5 sections that we can go to. There's access levels, users, departments, reports, and operators. We'll start with access levels and make sure we have our all access group. Always use all access in the Biomanager client. We will adjust who has access to which doors inside of CA4K and not in the Biomanager client. Again, when you are entering biometric data, make sure that this all access group is the one that you use. The other section here that we'll utilize as we import this data is the Users window. This is the User window. Before we can enter a user, we need to make sure that that user does not exist already in our system. We can do that by searching for name, by going to Find, or by starting to type in here. And we see Sally Smith in there. We can also filter the badges and search for a person inside of the system or credential inside of the system using this search window. If the person that we need is not in the system, we will select New User. We're going to give our user a name. We're going to give our user a site code. This site code will be specific for your installation. You will need to have this information from BIOTC LLC. We need to enter the user code. This user code you will get from a database or a spreadsheet that you maintain of the available user codes that you will use for the biometric data. This information needs to be unique from any other credentials that you use in the system. Once you have those three pieces of information entered, a name, site code, and user code, we'll need to select an access level. For our purposes, again, we will always use all access. The other fields can stay the same. And from there, we will need to enter biometric data. In order to enter biometric data, we must first select our KBF ENR from this menu. You will see the other readers here, but we do not want to select those to be our enrollment reader. We want to use this KBF ENR. It is a standalone reader that will plug in via USB to the computer on which you are controlling the software. Once you have selected the KBF ENR, you will come over here to the fingerprints, right-click on the fingerprint that you're going to enroll, and click Enroll. The lights flash, have the person place the finger on the reader, and then we get our number here. The higher the number, the more accurate the read was. It may be worth attempting multiple tries to get a larger number. The higher the number, the more accurately the reader will read the fingerprints. We'll go ahead and enroll another one here. As you can see, this one was much lower. One more. Enroll as many fingerprints as you would like, and click Save New. Once you have recorded the fingerprint data to the reader, it will upload to all of the readers that you have selected. After you have loaded the fingerprint through the Carry Biomanager client, you will need to switch over to CA4K. In CA4K, you again need to repeat some of these steps. We'll start by going to our Personnel window, searching for our person, coming here, searching by first name, or by any of the criteria that you would like to search by. Selecting Find. And we have no records for Sally. There's no Sallys in our system right now. Let's go ahead and add one. We're going to click on New Badge. Even though we're adding a biometric reader, we still click on New Badge. CA4K sees any credential coming in as a badge, whether that's a key fob, whether that's a biometric input, but we're going to start by adding a badge. We are going to come I say that we're going to add a badge, but I do not see. We're going to hit cancel because this does not look like we're going to do it. Okay. So, we have once again, we've searched for Sally. And we have no records in our system. So the first thing we're going to do is add a new person. We automatically have a record created. We need to create a badge number for them. We need to use the same badge number here that we used when we created the biometric credentials in Biomanager software. If you are unsure of what that is, let's come back over here to Users. We are going to look at Sally's card, and you can see here that her user code is 200. So our badge number here will be 200. Our facility code here will be the same information as our site code here, but the number will be different. Make sure you know which facility code to set. Your system administrator or Batak LLC can give you that information. For this example, we are going to use facility code 1. And now we are going to enter as much information as we want. We could add middle name. We can come up and add even more personal information if we would like. But for this example, we're simply going to enter our first name and last name. Now, these activation dates and times and expiration dates and times are important. If you leave this activation date empty, it will go active immediately when you click Save. If you leave the expiration date empty, it will not expire at any time in the future. Therefore, if you want to, this is what you would use if you wanted to create a badge now, or a biometric read now that would be active in the future. We could set this to a future date simply by coming in here and going to the date we want it to start. We need to move this back to today. If you leave it blank, it'll go live immediately. If you want it to expire, similarly, you would do that here. Make sure that enabled is checked, and set our access groups. For this example, we only have all access available. If you need a different access group that you do not see in this drop-down list, again, contact your system administrator or Batak LLC to help you. Once we have the badge number, the facility number, name, activation date, expiration date, enabled, checked, and our access group set, we can now click Save, and this credential will be live. Now, Miss Sally can go to the doors and test them, and she should be granted access via the fingerprints, via any of the fingerprints that we recorded and enrolled in Biomanager. If we only enrolled these 3 fingers, these are the only 3 fingers that will allow her access. These will not, and these will not. If we enrolled all 10 fingers, any of her 10 fingers should grant her access into the system. Again, remember, the higher the number, the better the read. The more chances that she will not be denied, that Miss Sally will not be denied on a day when things aren't optimal. To review, we right-click on Users. We double-click on Users. We search to see if our person is in the system. Here we see Sally now pops up. If we do not see the person we're looking for, we can simply add new user. We enter our username, site code, user code. Make sure that HID is selected. Make sure KBF-ENR is selected and plugged into our computer. Enroll as many fingerprints by right-clicking and clicking Enroll. And then we save. Once this is saved, we switch over to Card Access, Card Access 4K. Navigate to our Personnel window. Again, search using Find Criteria to see if the credential we want to add is in here. If it is not, we select New Person, enter our badge number, the facility code, first name, last name, activation date and expiration date. Make sure it's enabled. Add our access group and click Save. This is how you will add users with biometric credentials into CA4K. Thank you for taking the time to view our video. If you have any questions, please contact Batak LLC.